welcome back. My sound should be good. Now, y'all see the thumbnail. And I'm saying this in response to this video that I've just listened to. Not this video, but this video by Gentleman's Den. And, Gentleman's Den, he went over this video. I'm pretty sure many of you seen this by now. She uploaded it 13 hours ago, and it's almost got 11,000 views. I'm going to go over it. But I'm responding to not only Gentleman's Den, but the several black men who say this. It's not all black women. It's not all black women. But when there is so many of them that are like this, that it seems like it's all black women, that justifies avoiding all of them. That right there justifies it. If it feels like, seems like, if you're having a hard time finding black women who are not this way, what does that tell you? You need to avoid all of them. And this is where it's headed. And black women, I believe the government is actually tired of black women. And that's the real reason for this shutdown. Canceling Section 8, canceling food stamps. They are right now making active moves against the laziness of black American women. Literally, this country, the government, I believe, is acting against them. Now, there's plenty white people on welfare as well, but as we all know, they don't care about. They're only looking primarily at black American women. All right. Now, excuse me. I assume this took place in some type of Twitter space or TikTok space. Listen to this.
Because the goal of this conversation should be to progress, right? Unless you're ladies that you don't want to fucking deal with men at all, then we should talk about it.
We don't want to deal with black men at all.
I want all men and not black men. Just not black men.
Well, is there any women here who don't want to deal with men, period, or is it just black men?
Okay. These black women are allegedly talking to Klan members. Okay, allegedly. They're having a discussion with Klan members.
Or is it a mixture?
It's just black men, and we actually want non-black men's help in these corrections that you speak of.
Listen to this. Wait a minute.
Period, or is it just black men, or is it a mixture?
It's just black men, and we actually want non-black men's help in these corrections that you speak of.
So what are the corrections that you're looking for specifically?
Force, because that's the only thing that's gonna work.
But I mean, what are you looking for black men to arrive at? A place of understanding of what do you want to see?
Well, we believe that there is no hope for them. That we don't believe in changing their minds. We don't. But I'm trying not to say what I really want to say because you're on stage. But if they could not exist, hey, we wouldn't be mad at.
I think for me, I want the coddling culture to kind of stop. I think they get validated a little bit too much and they're not held accountable as much as white men, Hispanic men, Asian men, the legal.
Okay, let's stop there. Now you heard that. You heard that. Now I'm pretty sure most black men would say, "Hey, that's not all black women." But it's not about that. It's not about whether or not you hear all black women saying that. What you need to focus on is the fact that narratives like that pop up in their population. You want to use statements like this to gauge the collective mentality. In a population of women who are good-hearted women, you would not have narratives pop up like this at all. And you would definitely not have them be supported in the form of likes and positive, supportive comments in the comment sections. And yet that's exactly what you see. Cynthia G videos, what have you. You see thousands of black women in full support of this anti-black male energy. Straight up and down. And I think it's so much of a shock to black men that they can't accept it. It's a shock to them to accept that black women have such a deep collective hatred for them. Black men, they do. It is a genuine hatred. It's a genuine hatred. Before we go on, I remember a while ago, my mother yelled at my nephew. My nephew is black American. He's not mixed. He was about 5 years old at the time. He got out of the van, and she didn't want him to get out of the van. He was in a van different from the van that she was in. And she yelled at him, told him to get back into the van. That's literally what she said. But she said it in such an evil and hateful way, he jumped and immediately started crying hard. I'm telling you, they have a deep and genuine hatred for black men.
Because we live in white male patriarchy, white men set what's socially acceptable. So with you all setting what's socially acceptable, the degenerate behavior of black male culture needs to be checked.
The degenerate behavior of black men culture need to be checked because white men have set the standard for black men. But y'all allow white women to trick y'all into feminism. We didn't.
No, wait a minute. With this black woman who was talking, what she doesn't understand is that these same Klan members, these brads that she's talking to, created and put trillions of dollars behind the promotion of this degenerate behavior. Invested in black male degenerate behavior. That's what they built all these prisons for. More prisons in the United States than any other country in the world by far. I believe the stats on it's crazy, right? Like more prisoners in prisons than several different countries combined. Y'all have no idea how abnormal that is. They're invested in the creation of criminals. And black men are the primary subjects. So they're responsible for this degenerate behavior that you're talking about, Keisha. But Keisha is so aligned with white supremacists that they're not even mindful of it because they are completely consumed by it, by this hatred. And most black men just don't understand it. Wait a minute. Yeah, on this video, he at one point shares a video clip from AC. shares a clip from AC on his video. And I don't think this is the first time I've heard him share AC's content. But we'll come back to that. After playing this woman's... Wait a minute.
It wasn't the fact that Kevin Samuels was getting on the black...
We're going to listen to more of this exchange with these white supremacists. But look at this. After they played these anti-black male, these witches, these demonic Keishas, playing their anti-black male hatred, this video pops up.
Create the...
I don't want to hear this.
2 moments later.
Hey man, black man.
No, I don't want to hear
Sends
this.
this to a black man who needs
I don't want to hear it.
to hear this. Black man.
So I was sitting here and I was thinking, the most beautiful thing about you, we can't even see. Even if you
Black man, you know what's pathetic and sad? It's sad to see black men pretend like they really feel these I love you and I apologize black men videos. Y'all don't really feel that, and you know it. You know it's fake. It feels fake. It's all get up and you know it. Don't feel genuine at all, but what does feel genuine is that hatred. Them supporting the idea of aborting black males. And it don't even have to be that extreme. Just their overall disdain and hatred for black men. You feel that is genuine as all get up. But stop faking the funk. Y'all not feeling these I love you black men and I apologize, we need you black men. Y'all not feeling, you know they're fake and corny and fake as all get up and y'all know it.
And
So I was sitting here and I was thinking, the most beautiful thing about you, we can't even see. Even if you were naked, we still cannot see it. And I want you to remember that. As always, my black man, I love you, I appreciate you, and I hope you have an amazing, what's it, Friday? Weekend.
Baby, I love y'all bad. I love y'all real bad. I love y'all tough. Baby, know that you're loved.
See how corny and vague that is? How corny and vague that, how non-specific that is? What are you talking about? What exactly do you love about black men? Why is it such a challenge for you to pinpoint the things you so love of black? That tells you that this is BS. Forced and not genuine. Just tired of being lonely or whatever. And you looking for a black man to feminize and boss around the house. You put on this little show for a few minutes and every now and then. But your true self is to be disrespectful. Feminize him, disrespect black men. Yeah, we're not feeling these non-genuine videos at all.
Oh, bad. I love y'all real bad.
I love y'all real bad.
I love y'all tough.
I love y'all tough. Wow, it sounds like you put a lot of thought into that, Keisha. Y'all remember the conscious girl? What was her name? Got found in a strip club. This is actually one of their collective mentalities, to pretend like they love black men. And it's so fake. I don't see why more people don't see it. More black men don't see it.
Baby, know that you're loved.
When I created the term the reach back a few years ago, right? I was explaining to black men that the reach back usually happens later in life with these Keishas.
Yeah.
They give their prime years to Pookie, right? And then after they have Pookie children, they decide that they want to get productive, clean black men, right? And the problem is that sometimes they're successful at it, Let me tell you why the reach back happens.
The wall is undefeated, right? And those women at the beginning of this video talking all this shit about black men need to be punished by white men and all that, and they would be happy if we was wiped off the face of the planet. That's basically what they were saying. But when women get up in age and they made all their bad decisions, now they have to point the finger because they don't want to hold themselves accountable for all the bad decisions that they made in their prime years. They didn't settle down and want to build a family. They didn't want to get married. They didn't want to focus on their careers, right? They want to go out here and be sexual liberated because that's what the feminist movement is pushing towards these black women. And once they start creeping up on age, because as women get older, they value decreases. I know these women don't want to believe it, or a lot of guys, especially the simps out here, they don't want to believe it neither. But the facts is the facts, right? And as black men get older, if we doing the right thing and we on our purpose, our value increases. That's why, as this guy said in the video, women like to do the reach back. They looking at all these black men that's on their purpose, that's good fathers, that's not even fathers as...
He said, as this guy said in this video, this is accountable commentary. Gentlemen's Den, go ahead and share the man's name. Because let me tell y'all, and on top of this, he gets around to saying it's not all black women. Listen, man, I don't know why y'all acting like AC is not out here torching. He is straight torching the image of Keisha. Y'all sitting back just saying, oh, it's not all black women. That's not working. That's not an accurate response to the argument that he's putting up. And when I say his argument, I'm talking about his entire channel and the combination of every video he uploads and the overall message. Keisha is getting straight torched out here in these streets. Y'all can't just keep saying it ain't all black women when you running into these types of Keishas consecutively, back to back to back to back. Where's the ones who are not like this? When you have a hard time finding them, that justifies avoiding all of them. And that justifies his whole foundation of saying, hey, just avoid all of them. Like, in a real debate, he's winning the debate. And I'm looking at it as an outsider. Just as a formal debate, he wins that debate. Because all I hear opponents saying, it's not all black women. It's not all black women. Yet when you look at them, they are like this in groups, agreeing with each other with the worst things that's being said collectively. You don't find individual Keishas providing pushback like that. A few of them here and there on YouTube, that's just about it. But no, you don't see nobody pushing back. You don't see no Keishas pushing back against Cynthia G in her comment section. You don't hear narratives spring up from black American men. You don't hear narratives come out of our population that say things like abort all black women. You don't even have a little small pockets of black men pushing no narrative like that. We are different. We are not possessed by their demons. Black men, we just gonna have to accept that. Y'all keep dancing around, you dance around there all you want. I know black women. I know black American women.
All making money. right? In shape. And now they looking for these guys to come save them. And a lot of black men say, no, thank you. You coming with 4-5 different children by 4-5 different men. You coming with $100,000 in student loan debt. I remember when you was online talking about how black men wasn't this and black men wasn't that. Now all of a sudden when life started hitting your ass, as we see right now with the government shutdown, now they calling for help.
It's because usually they need help.
That's all it is.
They need help. The reason why they want you after all these years, they'll call you at 35, 40, it's because they need help. They're poor.
The primary reason I see black men who are distrusting of black women just in general, or who are just hesitant to trust black women today who are singing black men's praises, is because the last few decades of anti-black misandry that has been unaddressed. Not only
right, and it's been accepted, right? And we really don't talk about misandry enough when it comes to black men and black women, right? Because every time a man speak against black women or anything like that, they call black men misogynists. But we don't talk about misandry enough. And it's a lot of that going on right now online regarding these black women. And it's accepted by this society. And they will push that out there in the algorithm. I guarantee you see it a lot on YouTube and TikTok. You talk about black men, you get all the views.
In just mainstream society, but particularly in the black community. The ways in which there have been black women in key positions of power who have actively supported misandrist point of views, who have promoted feminism, a toxic feminism, who have promoted really negative ideas about the black community, specifically about black men. And
I want you guys to also keep in mind, these women...
Show me the black female videos and comment section full of Keishas genuinely showing respect and appreciation for black men and speaking out against these evil, hateful narratives that's popped up from the black female population. Show it to me. They're putting it right in our face. They're doing things exclusively. Black American women, they are doing things where it's only them doing it. Black women, not just black men, black women, period. Look at the wigs. Wearing wigs age 14, 15, 16. They still be kids, essentially, wearing wigs. Weaves. Just dying to be something other than black. The self-hatred. No other demographic is putting on display that type of self-hatred, that type of mentality. None. Likewise, no other group of women is putting on display a genuine hatred for their counterpart. Hatred for themselves, just like they are the only ones putting on display this type of self-hatred of themselves. They're the only ones doing it. Likewise, they're the only ones that genuinely hate their men. They genuinely hate their own looks, their own aesthetics, their own type of beauty. They hate their own type of... Black men, I want y'all to remember something. When they took the crumbs from the government and left their kids' fathers, that was the greatest act of betrayal ever recorded in human history by a group of women towards their men. Find me a greater act of betrayal anywhere in human history. I'm listening. That was the most treasonous act of the stabbing in the back from any gender to their counterpart. Now, with that in mind, understand they did that as soon as we took that fake Becky wig off their heads and called them beautiful. At the very moment we did that, they said, we got to get away from these men. We took them perms out. We said, no, we don't want no white woman. We don't want you in here looking like, resembling a white woman. We don't want a white woman in our homes. We want black women. We want what you really naturally are. We put them in their natural state and called them beautiful. That was the greatest, most romantic thing any group of men ever did for their women in recorded history. How did they respond? With the most treasonous, hateful, backstabbing act in human history. Add it up. They had been destroyed and told, decades conditioned to believe that they were inferior and naturally less attractive. Over several generations, they had been brainwashed to be that way. And as soon as we said, nope, you're beautiful, they dipped, took our families and broke it, and have been breaking up families ever since. All because they don't want to be under our leadership. They hated our type of leadership. To accept and embrace yourself. To have a mindset of it's us against the world. You're not going to walk in nobody's shadows. Not Becky, not Ling Ling. You're going to show them a type of beauty that they can't attain. It's not going to be the other way around. And they were not strong like that. That required a powerful mentality that they did not have. And they saw that we didn't have that level of self-hatred in them. And they were ashamed that they couldn't genuinely accept and love themselves like we could. It was like sort of mixed in with an anxiety attack. It made them very uncomfortable. They're only comfortable in Becky's image. And this is collective. This is their collective mentality. And those who are natural, doing it for slave play. So you can't count them. I don't want to hear no lecture. Oh, what about the natural sisters? Beat it. They're some of the biggest swirlers and y'all know it. And they ain't got no problem shacking up with Brad. And natural hair don't mean nothing to them at this point. This was a thing of that era. Treasonous. Now, the brother in this... Now, let's go back to this video. Because this is kind of crazy.
System works in their benefit a little bit more than they think it does.
She's saying the system work in black men's benefit. And she's sick of the system coddling to us and not holding us accountable. Listen to the madness of Keisha.
It works in their benefit a little bit more than they think it does. They're seen as the ultimate, most oppressed. And I think that coddling culture needs to stop and they need to be held accountable for their actions.
Because we live in white male patriarchy, white men set what's socially acceptable. So with you all setting what's socially acceptable, the degenerate behavior of black male culture needs to be checked, and there needs to be more, because we're no longer looking for accountability from them because they've proven that they will not take accountability. We need the men who set the culture to make them take accountability by exacting some sort of consequence for perpetrating behaviors that are not socially acceptable because you all create the socially acceptable behavior.
Yeah. I gotta back that one up.
Set the culture because we're no longer looking for a degenerate behavior of black male culture needs to be checked, and they're
people. They literally breed degeneracy into their sons. You're talking about the only parents. Talking about how their sons turn out, as if they themselves have nothing to do with how their sons turn out. How deranged of a so-called parent is that?
Needs to be more, because we're no longer looking for accountability.
And what are we supposed to be held accountable for? Black men in particular. Don't say crime. Don't talk about none of that nonsense. White men commit more crime and are more violent, according to all statistics. That's FBI and everything. What are we supposed to be held accountable for? Y'all the ones on welfare. Y'all the ones don't want to work. Y'all the ones be divorcing your kids' fathers, creating households that are unfit for large families. Y'all the ones mad about food stamps. What we need to be held accountable for. We're doing a whole lot better than y'all. What are you talking about? See how they feel comfortable just babbling? Just like Cynthia G? Comfortable just babbling and lying.
Them because they've proven that they will not take accountability. We need the men who set the...
Look, we're not the poorest demographic out here spending money on things we don't need, like hair, nails. Notice how they be poor as all get up. All these chicks talking about food stamps, mad about their food stamps getting cut off. And they the same ones sitting there with a head full of bundles and weave and fake umbrella eyelashes and all that fake stuff they spend all kinds of money on. Being on welfare, being the poorest demographic. Y'all the ones need to be held accountable for your behavior. What is you talking about? Y'all the ones, the face of eviction, getting thrown out here, getting thrown out there. What are you talking about? Look at how delusional they are. You can't even rely on them for rational thought. Ain't no critical thinking skills coming out of these women. Ridiculous.
Culture to make them take accountability by exacting some sort of consequence for perpetrating behaviors that are not socially acceptable because you all create the socially acceptable behavior.
A few moments later.
Hey, black man, hey. Hey, black man, hey.
Black man. Black man. Sends this to a black man who needs to hear this. Okay. Black man.
So I was sitting here and I was thinking, you know, the most beautiful thing about you.
That's so fake. That's so fake. You can tell they're not used to talking like this. You can tell this is not worked on. This is not their natural self. You can tell. This is their first time talking like this, all because they think it's some type of TikTok trend. That's why black men ain't feeling it, because it's fake. We can sense the fakeness. But you seem very real and genuine when they spewing hatred.
I love you, I appreciate you, and I hope...
And beat it. You struggling. You about to lose your food stamps. Right? You about to be out on the curb somewhere. That's what you doing. And that's why you talking like that. Making these little goofy videos. Huh? Now, it was actually this female who shared some accountable commentary video. Boy, y'all better, black man, y'all better stop calling this dude extreme. I'm trying to tell you. Now, I admit there's bias on my part because, like I said long ago, when I first heard his content, it felt like he was justifying everything that I was saying, or where I was coming from. It felt like he was substantiating it, because back when I made that channel, there was a lot of pushback, man. That was like a pro-black era. People were not talking like that about black women back when I made that channel. They just was not in large joke. We had our community, but I was going ham. Right? I was doing it in a way a lot of other guys were not doing. They wasn't saying the things that I was saying. And now you seeing it happening. This narrative that it's not all black women, how relevant is that? How relevant is that? How important is that? How valuable is that? When you get droves and droves of them who are that way. Who are that way. You see, this promotion of aborting black boys, these black women you hear talking to the Klan and saying, hey, we want you to erase black men. Stuff like that is able to be said because of the simple disrespect that permeates through their population. That's what gave birth to these extreme narratives. It's the more subtle hatred, the more subtle acts of disdain, disrespect. Remember, you're dealing with a population of women who dislike themselves, who deal with genuine self-hatred and insecurities. The foundation of these extreme narratives that you hear coming from them is this black man ain't ish, always putting black men down. And all of you black men out there who have black women, Gentleman's Den mentioned in the same video he made that he has a black woman. But I'm willing to bet that I can find some way where she puts you beneath Brad. I can find ways in which she disrespects you, and you just have adapted to it and accept it. There are so many ways. I mean, you don't even worship. Is her Jesus black or white? See, she most likely Christian. Does she have an image of a white Jesus anywhere? I bet she do. Huh? That's disrespectful to you. That's an insult to you. And it's unacceptable. That's a deal breaker. I bet she shows Brad a level of respect she don't show you. She talks to Brad. She fixes herself up when she talks to Brad. She has this level of respect that she gives Brad that she doesn't give to you. And you just accept it. But you can't promote that, oh, this is an exception. No, it's not. You've just adapted to your own belittling and emasculation. I bet your Keisha owns or has owned a white sex toy. How much you want to bet? Oh yeah, I'm gonna go there. Because that's another form of putting you beneath Brad. They look at white sex toys as the standard. All Keishas. They look at your skin color, your skin tone as a sort of fetish, just like Becky. That's right. Brad, in their mind, is the standard. The standard. He is what they all should have. And I said sex toys. It's kind of taboo, but it's a major way that they inferiorize black men. They don't want, deep down, don't want to be impregnated by you. They want to be impregnated by Brad. And using white sex toys is a powerful fantasy. It provides a powerful fantasy for them. There's a video floating around about of a black sex worker talking about how she was upset about how black men don't want to pay her a whole bunch of money. But she was just mad because, and I think it was AC's video, she was just mad because white men ain't paying for them. White men ain't paying for them, but they want to serve these white men. You see a bunch of these black female sex workers who say no black men, no African American men. Let me remind you again, immediately after slavery, there existed in the United States black female created brothels that served white men only. There has always been. Now, Gentleman's Den mentioned that we didn't have any problems before the welfare state. That we didn't have any issues, between 1870 and 1960. Yes, we did. That's why it was possible for them to break up our families. That was a sign that something was wrong right there. We wasn't just in love with each other between 1870 and 1960. Yeah, we were married at a high rate. But you got to remember, black men back then were doing things that we refuse to do now for a reason. They was accepting these kids that wasn't theirs, accepting their laziness, taking care of them as if they were another child. You see? And we constantly being disrespected all the while, being belittled all the while, being bossed around all the while, all while taking care of them. The relationships were dysfunctional between 1870 and 1960. That's why as soon as Brad offered them crumbs, they was like, I'm out. My kids don't need no father. We don't need you. I'm out. Understand that, man. We have never been aligned with black women. Or should I say they've never been aligned with us. They have never truly gotten under our leadership. And really, the civil rights era was an era where black men were calling that out. Y'all seen that video floating around on YouTube where the black men in the 70s are talking about how our women won't allow us to be men. They won't allow us to be leaders. This has always been a part of black female culture. To bring the black man down, put him down. You're less of a man. You're less of a man. And they've always refused to break that element of their culture. It's plantation, extremely unnatural. Black men evolve. They don't. And that's what's causing the split. That's what's causing black men to be out. Like, I'm done. Nobody about to be stuck in slavery with you. Trying to be no dominatrix. Being disrespectful. And now calling for the abortion of black boys and all this nonsense. The very fact that they are even able to get on that. Haven't we talked about, like I said, you don't hear no narratives like that popping up among black men. Up here talking about abort black. There so many evil narratives have popped up from their population for a reason, and you ain't heard it from us. What else do you got? Look at their hair. Look at their wannabe Becky, wannabe Ling Ling culture. That's another way in which they put Brad above. That's Brad's hair. That's Brad's hair. I'm going to find some ways. I'm talking to all you black men who got a Keisha. Yeah, I bet you I can find some ways and that proves that she's the same as all the rest of them. They are hardwired to be anti-black male. Hardwired. And no matter which one of them you talk to, you can expect to run into the same basic narratives. You all know it. We all know it. You got another guy. I'm sorry, this guy feel like one of my disciples, man. He probably don't even know me. But he feels like a SBW disciple. That's always how I've looked at him. And he is cooking Keisha. And he's getting better the longer he does it. He's getting better the longer he does it. Y'all remember my SBW channel? I made this exact same, this idea popped in my head. Like, how ridiculous would it look if black men walked around with these wigs, these same wigs, trying to look like a blonde Brad? We look like a plumb fool. Lo and behold, that's what he walk around. Listen to this.
So,
This is an outrageous fit.
this is an outrageous fit. You don't like my fit?
No, it's outrageous. Why
So,
am I being recorded? Okay, what's fine.
Are black women beautiful?
Yeah, I'm one of them.
So why do black women wear straight hair and fake white women's hair and stuff like that?
Everyone has a character, man. It's customizable. Same way you're wearing that thing right there.
Yeah, well,
I can do the same thing.
This is just like a mock of black women that wear the fake hair. This is like, so if I was trying to be a white dude, this is what it would look like. So like with the fake hair, this means you're trying to be like a white woman.
Not at all. White women can also have somewhat curly hair. Obviously not kinky, but their hair can get pretty curly.
Boom. The same old pathetic narratives, just like I said.
You said white women?
Yeah. I've seen white women naturally.
Yeah, but I mean, black women don't grow straight hair like this. So you guys are trying to be like white women.
Way white people can straighten their hair if it's curly. I can curl my hair and straighten it as well.
Yeah, but they're not curling it to the point where it looks like black hair. It looks still nothing like black hair when they curl it. But when you do this, it looks exactly like white women's hair. So,
and that's not even what she's talking about. This Keisha is talking about white people with naturally curly hair but decide to straighten it. You goofball. You goofball. You don't see white people with no curly hair, with no hair that even slightly resembles our hair. Their hair don't look like ours. The curliest white person's hair is nothing but big curls. It's not coily. Our hair ain't curly. Our hair is coiled. It spiral, coil from the root. From the root. I've been a barber all my whole life. I know how our hair behaves. And this Keisha is saying the same thing that a whole trillion other goofy Keishas have said, trying to justify their admiration and worship for Brad. Because admiring and worshiping Becky's beauty standard is the same thing as admiring and worship Brad's. The same thing. He can grow out his hair and it'll look exactly like hers. Their hair will look identical if it's the same length and when it's the same length. Becky's hair is Brad's hair. She not only has it straightened, she got it blonde. And trying to say that white women do the same thing. I bet one of you got a Keisha like this, running around trying to act like your Keisha is the exception. No, it's not. No, it's not. You got one of these Keishas. I'm telling you, look at how pro-black a lot of black men can be and still promote, wigs and weaves. I'm not buying it.
But when you do this, it looks exactly like white women's hair. So why are you trying to be white today?
I wouldn't say it looks exactly like a white woman's hair.
Are you?
Look exactly. It never. I can't see. Even when white people wear wigs, it looks like black people. Like, I can't lie to you.
Listen to this airheaded Keisha. There's not a brain in that taco. You heard what she just said?
It looks exactly like a white woman's hair.
Are you?
Look exactly. It never. I can't see. Even when white people wear wigs, it looks like black people.
When white people wear wigs, it looks like black people's hair. You saying white people walk around with afro wigs? Is that what you're saying, Keisha? This is a college Keisha. I'm telling you, these, and I'm telling you, this is the same type of response you'll get from a Keisha at the corporate level. I don't care what kind of job she got. They all got the same mental illness. Ain't no exceptions, man. They have a collective mentality. Y'all gonna stop playing dumb and stop pretending like y'all don't see it. Stop with the nonsense, man. This nonsense about how it's not all of beat it. Beat it. Even with a lot of these Keishas here online, here on YouTube, you see them Beckied up, don't you? They just hopping on to a trend. And there ain't that many of them that do it. And if it ain't none of that, it's Brad's seed. I bet you anything your Keisha got more appreciation for biracial babies. I bet you anything. I bet you anything your Keisha enjoy running her fingers through the head of a biracial child more than running her fingers through the head of a black child. I bet you. I'm telling you. You're not going to escape Keisha culture. Your Keisha is not going to exist outside of the anti-black Keisha culture. It involves too many anti-black elements for them to exist and not be some other type of non-Keisha entity. Get out of here. This is some of the craziest. Man, I've never even researched anything this crazy in history. What we're looking at here with Keisha. Just a phenomenon, man. Like, I didn't know self-hatred could be this deep. It is deep, and it got so many facets. It expresses itself in so many different ways. It is mind-boggling. It is mind-boggling. I bet you your Keisha feels like she's settling being with you. And let some dream Brad of hers that's been entering her dreams at night, let him push up on her in real life. You gonna wake up and that Keisha gonna be gone. She gonna be gone. Yeah, I don't want to hear this nonsense that they're not all like this. It's not all of them. It ain't all our sisters. I want to go head up against that narrative right there. That is nonsense, and you're a fool if you go out here and try to operate on that narrative. You're going to drive yourself crazy. You're going to end up dead. Something real bad going to happen to you. You just going from one Keisha to the next, to the next, to the next. You ain't going to never find this non-Keisha Keisha. Get out of here. It is past time their self-hatred, which is connected to their hatred of us, be addressed and talked about openly. Y'all faking the funk, being fake, and being scared. They putting it everything right in our faces. Their self-hatred is all over the place. Express itself in a whole plethora of ways. Lord, man, it's 1:14 in the morning. What is y'all still doing up, man? It's about 20-some people in here. I'm about to leave this right there. This is a good spot to end this live stream. I'll see y'all on the next.